Alright guys, this is Nordrammus here. Today I'm bringing you a bit of a Rammus guide. It's basically a gameplay analysis of a game I played a while back. I think this game was in Plat 2, so around that level. I think this is basically just a good overview of how I play Rammus, so I think Rammus should be played in my guide that I'm writing. So firstly I started bot side. I got a leash from my ADC and my support. And now I actually move on to the wolves. If you go straight to red, you'll be like really unhealthy after you finish your first clear. So it's best to clear these things first. Now, to get a little bit of overview of like why you want to pick Rammus, as you can see in this game, they got a Vayne, they got a Renekton, they got a Vi, and actually they got an Azir as well. So they got 3 AD champions and one a champion that relies on auto attacks. And Rammus just absolutely shits on anyone with attack damage basically. So that's pretty much the reason for picking him. That's the reason you should be picking him. If you pick Rammus and you're against like 3-4 AP champions, you're basically doing it wrong in my opinion. So there's nothing much happening now. I'm just taking my red. And usually after I've taken my first 3 camps, I want to look to gank. Rammus is really strong ganker, especially in the early game. The good thing about Rammus, you can even gank through wards because of his power ball. You get so much movement speed, you can gank through wards quite safely. So here I saw Azir was pushed up, just queued into him, E'd him for the taunt, and he was basically dead at that point. Gave kill to my mid laner. Now I kept on farming here, went for my blue. Now honestly, farming on Rammus is really slow. You basically want to max your W first, just to get better clears overall. Your W at rank 1 gives you 20 magic, maybe 40. No, it gives you 40 magic resist and armor, and it does a little bit of damage back. But at rank 5, it gives you 120 magic resist and armor, which is like one of the biggest steroids in the game basically. And it also returns a lot of damage back to your attacker. So that's why I tend to max that first. If there's something better to do. Now here we go. Azir pushed again, and honestly, when someone pushes against Rammus, that's just it for them. They're pretty much dead. So again, Q in. An important thing to note: I basically like dodge around the minions. You may think you want to go like straight for the enemy in like a straight line. You basically just want to avoid the minions as much as you can to get more move speed on your Q, and so your Q doesn't get procced by the minions. Now he got away there. That was still a good gank in my opinion. Now as you can tell, I'm looking to gank a lot, and honestly I think this is how Rammus should be played. He is not very good at farming. He's not a farm jungler at all, and his ganks are just really strong in general. Janna got the kill there, not perfect, but it was still pretty good. Now I put in my guide the first items you want to try and get: Moby boots. You may think that's a really odd purchase, and it's not necessarily always the right choice all the time, but I honestly think it's one of the strongest things you can get, especially if you're snowballing early. Because what it does, it gives you just ridiculous move speed in ganks. You get up to something like 600, 700 move speed when you get to your max rank Q. And what this means is that even if enemies being smart, even if they're warding, sometimes you can gank them just by being so fast essentially. For reference, I think this game was played in Platinum 2, I think it was in at the time. So they're half decent players. As you see, I was taking my Raptors at this time. I think I was basically just looking mid. Because this was basically going on. Luckily McKinnon gets a good stun there. Janna gets a kill again. Not ideal, but still good to go there. Now you can see at this stage I am losing out a little bit in the farm game against the Vi, but I've had so much more pressure on the map, it really doesn't matter. Okay, I remember this game. My top lane was feeding a lot. Now you're probably going to see a lot of points in this game where the Renekton is pushing the Aurelia, and I'm like in a position where I could gank him, but I don't. I do go from here just because he was really, really low. I didn't get the kill there. See, this is the problem with Rammus, is that in the early game, against someone with a lot of burst or someone who's ahead, he can't really 1v1 them. He does require items to scale up. If I had my Thornmail at a time, or if I had like some armor items, maybe I could have dueled in, but when you don't have your armor items, you're basically not going to win too many duels. If you didn't know, Rammus' passive basically converts some of his armor into attack damage. So if you get to like 300, 400 armor, your auto attacks also hit like 200, 240, I think, which is really, really nice. One thing I should note is that if you take the Krog Smite, the one that basically stuns jungle creeps and stuff, you want to make sure that you don't stun them when he W's up, because that's like 3 damage you're missing, and actually it slows down your clears a lot if you stun them when you W. Now again, come back in with this Azir. He was pushing again, a free gank, really easy gank. And this is basically what I'm looking for all the time. All the time I'm farming, I'm basically looking at my lanes, seeing who's pushed, seeing when I can queue out the jungle, and basically going for a free kill. Because Rammus, he's not a hard champion. You don't have to worry about your mechanics at all. You literally queue in, avoid some minions, and eat them, and they're dead most of the time. Now, as you can see, I'm basically camping the Azir this game. I'll say kind of the reason for doing that is probably my Kennen was playing very well. But if you're ganking a lane that has some extra CC, like Kennen can set up his stun, if you basically queue into them and E them, it's almost guaranteed that they're going to be able to layer their CC on top of it. If I went bot lane, we've got a Janna and we've got a Caitlyn. They're not really going to be able to set up ganks for me. And if I went top, just that Renekton was really fucking fed this game. So I couldn't really do much top lane. It was likely Renekton would either just get away or double kill us. I think I actually went up there at one point. Really, just, I don't know. She was raging at me. She started spam pinging, saying just don't come to my lane. I think if I remember correctly from this game. Such is life. Now I actually decided to finish my jungle enchantment in this game. Quite often, and I would say probably more often than not, I would rush Thornmail almost straight away. Now the reason I wanted to get the Cinderhulk was basically because I was ganking Azir a lot. I wasn't actually encountering many AD champions, and also because the auto attackers aren't like true auto attackers in the sense I would call them. Like Renekton, he's not really an auto attacker, he's an ability user. Same with Vi, she's more of an ability user. And Vayne, she still has true damage, so Thornmail is not the best buy. You need some health to deal with Vayne. Probably if they had a different ADC this game, I would have gone Thornmail first. But that being said, the Cinderhulk also helps you with your clears. Now, as you see, I basically went in there, went for a gank, popped their summoners, and sort of left immediately. And I knew they had a pink in the bush up in the top left there. And the thing is, Usually, if it's warded, people see you coming, say, alright, we can see the jungler coming, back away. As I was leaving, they came back, and I realised they were overextended at the time. Queued straight back in because I knew I was fast enough with my ghost to go and catch him. So that was a really, really easy kill there, and really badly played by them. Now I started grouping with my Caitlyn and Janna here because I remember they're really, really strong. Basically, if I can CC them, Caitlyn would absolutely melt anyone. Same goes for Arcanum, really. Now, as you can see, I'm basically going in without any fear here. That's kind of a testament to how strong I am right now. All I have is, Cinderhulk, Mummy Boots, and a Chain Vest. But I haven't died yet. I'm actually quite ahead in this game. And just that 40 armor is like really, really efficient stats on me. So I'm not afraid to go in. I'm not afraid to engage. And that's kind of how you got... Yeah, that's really how you have to play Rammus. He is an engage tool. And if you're sort of playing him like a bit of a pussy, you're not playing Rammus right, okay? You gotta get in there, you gotta dive into... Either dive into the back line or peel for your carries. And play him as a proper tank. But you have to remember as well that he does a lot of damage. So later on in the game, when I got my Thornmail, if I can Q into Vayne, E her, hit my W, and put my ult on, 95% of the time she's going to die, unless she has like heal or flash. One little thing to note there, I always pretty much roll out of base just because it gets you out there faster. That's another nice thing about Moby Boots, is that early on into the game, if you get Moby Boots, you can base and roll out of base and be out of base in just like a few seconds pretty much. So it allows you to keep pressure on the map constantly. Excuse me. Allows you to keep pressure on the map constantly and basically gank over and over and over again. Back when there used to be home guards, I think Rammus is even stronger because you could basically go back, get Moby Boots, get enchanted Moby Boots with home guards, and get back to lane in like 2 seconds. Obviously that's gone now, but the same principle still applies with your Q. Now going here, this was a bit ballsy of me, I'd say. Obviously that Renekton is very fed, and I don't have any magic resist versus Azir. But I have my Ghost, and you can see there just how tanky I am. With just Cinderhulk and a few items. And remember, that's because my W at the moment is giving me 120 magic resist and 120 armor. Which at this stage of the game is an absolutely ridiculous amount. Now I think I was torn in vain a bit here. This is kind of a testament to how strong I was. There's really nothing Vayne could have done to me there. Even if she stood and auto attack me, if I have my W on, she'd basically be killing herself, so she didn't want to do that. Now I realised I am actually building Locket this game. I basically wanted to play for the team. I knew I knew none of the AD champions were killing me, so I thought I might as well get Locket, protect everyone from that Azir, because he probably was the most fed on the team compared to anyone else at the time. And also, arguably Renekton was more fed, but I could still peel him off, and he couldn't really kill me at the time. I'd say if you ever have to go magic resist, you basically always either want to go Banshee's Veil or lock it with the Iron Solari. And the reason for that is, like, why not go Spirit Visage? It's basically because you don't have any self healing in your kit. I'd say the only reason ever to go Spirit Visage is if you have like a Soraka in your team or something. But even then, a Soraka won't be healing you that much. So I'd say Banshee's Veil is always better. So it gives you so much magic resist. Now you can see I've got my Thornmail. And this makes me incredibly strong. This is basically going to allow me to duel literally anyone in their team in like 1v1. And that puts me in a very, very good position. It means I can initiate without any fear. I'm basically like this is the strongest mid game you could basically have on Rammus. Usually mid game is the weakest point. Obviously I'm so ahead, you can see I'm like 1-0-10. I'm really strong now. So one thing to note here, obviously Vayne was trying to be smart, hide behind the minions. You don't want to rush your ganks, you basically want to go around the minions, make sure you can get your Q to hit on an enemy champion. If I hit the minions there, there's a good chance Vayne could have either killed Caitlyn or gotten away or had some cheese happen, I don't know. Run back in here, catch a Renekton. As you see, I'm basically just running around the map now. I'm this strong tank, no one can duel me, no one can fight me. So in my head now, I'm just thinking, all I got to do now is basically group up with my team, be the tank, keep making picks, because I only have single target CC, I can't CC a whole team. So basically I just want to keep focusing the most important targets, CCing them with my E and my Q, and basically letting Caitlyn and Kennen and Aurelia do all the work. We got a lot of picks there, so we get Baron here. One thing to note, when you're killing big monsters, if there are no enemies threatening you, you can E it, and what that does is, as well as taunting it, it cuts its armor by like 20 for a few seconds, and that actually makes a significant difference. It makes your whole team damage it a lot faster with auto attacks. So it's worth doing that if you don't have to CC any enemies at the time. Now, as you can see, literally, this is kind of a testament to how strong I am at the time. I'm basically running into 4 of them. I'm basically warding them all off dragon myself. My team weren't with me at the time. But if they attacked me, I could have gotten away with my Q. And they're pretty much terrified of me. And that's kind of how you want to play Rammus. You want to be ballsy. You don't want to be afraid of people. If you're afraid of people, your engages won't be very strong. So we get a second Infernal there. We couldn't be much stronger at this point. We've got 2 Infernal Dragons. We've got Baron and Asher. We've got everything we need to win this game. Now, as I say, no fear. I'm just running people down here, trying to catch people. Now, I'm actually using my Q there as like a zoning tool. So that's a secondary use of it, because basically people don't want to be CC'd. It'll CC them for like half second, 1 second, and they'll possibly get E'd if they get hit by it. So quite often you can sort of use it to, I don't know what the word, you can like flex with it, I call it. And what that means is you basically keep going up and back to people, up and back to people, to basically push them off objective, push them off turrets. I use it to push them off Baron there. I push them off Infernal Drake even. And I think that's the game actually, I think that's done. So I hope this game gave you a good overview of basically what you want to do on Rammus. So to sort of recap, you want to basically gank as much as you can in the early game to sort of get fed, get your team fed. And then once you get to the mid game, once you got your Thornmail especially, just don't be afraid of people, be that initiator, try and make picks on the squishies. And that's it really. Yeah, so I hope you found this interesting. Bye bye.